Today, America is going through a cultural revolution. It's led by Mr. Trump and the creators of Project 2025. It is happening because the cultural and social institutions with the moral authority to fight back with people power don't exist today. Over the past 5 decades, our culture has changed dramatically. There's no moral leadership today. Many of our cultural institutions that provided moral guidance are gone or have become completely dysfunctional. We're no longer a nation of communities working together to form a more perfect union. We've lost our sense of community. We've become tribal. We've lost the cultural infrastructure that's required to have a civil and moral society. Teenagers now commit violent crimes on a daily basis. That's because there's no parental guidance. Our culture has become fractured and dysfunctional by the dynamics of gender centricity. Women have replaced men in key leadership positions throughout our culture, and therein lies a vacuum in leadership. Many women aren't trained to be leaders. Sometime when the pendulum of change swings, it swings too far in the opposite direction. Mr. Trump and the people at Project 2025 are trying to change that. People think that the purge is about DEI, but it's not so much about race and ethnicity. It's all about gender and gender identity. The purge is against women. The U.S. is now a nation run by women. The white male millionaire class controls the wealth. They then hire mostly white women to run the day-to-day tasks that make the wheels of society turn. Look at the makeup of any city, county, or state government. The majority of the workers are women. The majority of the federal workforce are women. And that carries through to every doctor's office, every hospital, every healthcare company, cable, telephone, and internet company, banks, credit card company, Home Depot, AutoZone, and so on. Many of these organizations are poorly managed. Others are highly mismanaged. We're just muddling through an over-reliance on old and mismatched technology. Very few people can argue with that. Hey, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Social media adds to the problem. It allows for introverted and self-centered behavior behind closed doors, which feeds into gender chauvinism, narcissism, bullying, anxiety, depression, and other antisocial tendencies. Broadcast media is now dominated by women. The YMCA and Boy Scouts are run by women. Where are the men? Where are the Scout Masters, not the Scout Mothers? These organizations are lacking in male leadership. There are no programs at the YMCA for young men. Where are the Christian men who once ran the YMCA? There are 33,000 officers in the New York Police Department. Yet, the police commissioner is a woman who has never served as a policeman. Why? We need strong male role models in every public school and our cultural institutions. There must be balance with gender role models. We need mothers and fathers to be strong role models for our children at home. Stop this epidemic of teenage criminality. This is what's needed to have a strong, healthy culture. The two governing parties have become so dysfunctional that they cannot govern themselves, let alone govern a large, multicultural, and diverse open democracy such as ours. The result has been a breakdown in so many aspects of our society that we have allowed a small group of authoritarian operatives to take complete control of our government. Today, there is no moral authority. The spirit of America has been set adrift and now hijacked by a band of pirates. In 1920, Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said, "In this country, we can have democracy or we can have nearly all the wealth concentrated in the hands of a few. But we can't have both." In 1961, President Eisenhower said in his farewell speech, "Beware of the economic, social, and political perils of the emerging and growing military-industrial complex." In 1992, Governor Mario Cuomo said in his farewell speech, "We no longer have to worry about the threat of communism. We have to worry about the threat to our freedom from dark money in politics and the threat it poses to our electoral process and to our democracy." In 2024, Elon Musk gave $277 million to the Trump campaign. Democracy is a fluid and fragile system of government. It must be nurtured, cultivated, and protected. When a people allow themselves to become too ignorant, ill-informed, and too complacent to know the difference, then they can easily be manipulated. The students of my generation changed the world. We fought for the Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and 1965 that changed the world and American culture. We then demanded the right to vote, which resulted in the 26th Amendment that lowered the voting age to 18. But many young people today don't vote. They won't get off their behinds and vote these anti-democratic bureaucrats out of office. We have 3 generations who are politically and financially illiterate. They live in a small world of trying to survive from paycheck to paycheck in a $37 trillion economy. 90% of the wealth in this huge economy is owned or controlled by less than 8% of the population. Communism is a system where the state controls commerce. Fascism is a system where commerce controls the state. The world's richest man, who paid $277 million to the Trump campaign, was calling the shots in Washington. That's not democracy. Just as Brandeis warned about wealth and income inequality, President Eisenhower warned us about the military-industrial complex, and Governor Cuomo warned us about neo-fascism. Yet 110 million people didn't bother to vote in the 2024 election. 40 million people ages 18 to 29 didn't bother to vote. If another 5 million had voted, who do you think will be president today? Stop whining. Get off your behinds and get into the streets. Get into their faces. Minister Farrakhan took 1 million men to Washington for a Day of Atonement. You young people, get off your behinds and go to Washington. Take back your country and your democracy. They can't arrest 1 million people. Power only respects power. That's the only thing that will change what's going on today. Students of the 1960s changed the world. You can do it too. Power only respects power. You can generate people power. You are the future. If you don't protect your democracy, other people will take it from you.